Hello and welcome to Tech Tips with Sub Bob. For those that don't know me, Sub Bob stands for Submarine Bob because I served in the Navy for 21 years in the submarine force. My name is Bob King, and tonight I am going over time management using Calendly. And by tonight I mean tonight literally. I'm doing a blab tonight that is April 5th, 2016. Now you might be watching this later and for you it won't be tonight, but I'm going to use temporal terms. This is where it's at. Again, I'm Sub Bob everywhere, so if you go to blab.im/subbob, you'll find me and you can find this link and you can watch it. It'll be interactive, but it will also be recorded, so if anybody wants to watch it after the fact, you'll be able to. So I'm going to be going over time management with Calendly, and the origin of this is I used to just tell people, call me whenever. I gave the indication that my time wasn't valuable, but everyone's time is valuable. And so now I'm using the Calendly application. That's calendly.com. And when you go to it, you can sign up. I'm using a new one. I'm using a handle and a Gmail address that I've set up at Vets for Good. So we're at the creation stage right here. Welcome to Calendly. You can choose your link. In this case, I'm just going to use Vets for Good. That's the same as my Twitter handle, the same as the Gmail handle for that account. My real one is Sub Bob. So my real one says Sub Bob right there, and you can see it says that it's unavailable, and that's because I already have it. So I'm going to go back to the Vets for Good. I'm going to hit Next. And we're going to skip that video. Just go straight to the dashboard. Okay. And now we're going to go here and we're going to set up a meeting. We have different event types. So let's just set up a 30-minute meeting and we're going to edit it. The event is 30-minute meeting, and you can call that whatever you want. You can call that intro meeting 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes long. How are we going to connect? You have a choice. And I'm going to specify appear.in/vets for good. I prefer doing video calls for my initial meetings because video calls give everybody a chance to see what's going on. And I'll put here, please use the appear.in vets for good link to connect. You come down here and you can set when it is. By default, Sundays and Saturdays are off, and you can edit the times. We'll start every hour from 9 to 5 p.m. Now, by starting from having it scheduled for 30 minutes, but then going every hour, that gives you some time in between the meetings, and it also gives you time in case a meeting runs over. And we're going to apply that to all the days of Monday through Friday. Here you have a choice of how far in the future events can be scheduled, and you can add questions. So one question is, what is the purpose of the meeting? Right. And we'll make that a multi-line one. And going to make it required because nothing's worse than having a meeting without an agenda, right? That's in business or in life or whatever. So it doesn't hurt just to say, what's the purpose of the meeting? And we're going to add that question. And we're going to add another question, and we'll say, please provide URLs to any site or sites you wish me to review in advance of the meeting. Okay. I'll also make that one multi-line. I'm going to leave it optional. Maybe they don't have a URL site, or maybe it's about getting a site, and if they don't have anything out there. All right. Invitee notifications. We're going to do email confirmations. And you could do secret options or custom links. I'm not going to do any of that, so I'm just going to save those changes. Okay. And now I'm going to, you see when it first comes, it has 15-minute meeting and 60-minute meeting. I'm going to turn those off. And by the way, what we're doing here, this is a free trial. I think it's free for 30 days. And then after that, you can either use the free version, which is pretty limited on how many events you can have, or it's a nominal fee of about $10 a month, I believe. Now, it's not all that useful until you link it to your calendar, right? So we're going to go over to the settings here, and we're going to look at the calendar connection. And I already have my Google account set up, and you can see that it's checking this calendar for conflicts. Something happened to me yesterday using my own calendar, and that was someone scheduled an event at the same time that my wife had an appointment to which I was driving her. I was like, damn, how can I keep that from happening again? Well, what you can do is have other calendars. So I'm going to go in here and just make a fake appointment for tomorrow. I'm going to go in here, and on the family calendar, I'm going to create an event, call it appointment. I'll just call it appointment. Right? There it is, appointment, and it's from 9 to 10 tomorrow, but I'm going to go in here and edit it now. And I'm going to widen it out a little bit. I'm going to make it go until, say, 11:30. Okay? So now it's going until 11:30. It's going right up until lunch, you notice, right? Okay. Why is this important? Well, look what happens. Over here, I'm not going to do any, I'm just going to leave it at that right now, at the Vets for Good. And when I'm going to open a new incognito window. These new incognito windows are a very useful way to test things when you're already signed in somewhere else. So this is how my Calendly page looks. Oh, I'm going to schedule an intro meeting. What day? I'm going to schedule it for Wednesday. And you notice I can schedule for 9, 10, or 11. But I really don't want one at 10 because my wife has an appointment there. Ruh-roh. Alright, so I'm going to just minimize this for a moment. I'm going to go back over here to the calendar connection, and I'm going to tell Calendly to also look at the family calendar and look at the meetings calendar. I did that for a reason because I might want to just have a different overlay for meetings. Also, I decided that I want to be able to see separately, without all the noise of other things in my life, where these things that get scheduled via Calendly are. So rather than put them on my main calendar, I'm going to put it on the meetings overlay. So what I did here was, I said check other calendars for conflicts and put new Calendly events on meetings. I'm going to save that change. And when I did that, here's what happens. When I go to meetings now, and I choose Wednesday, notice the morning's gone. The morning is no longer available because Calendly knows that that time's committed. This is pretty cool. You don't have to do it yourself. You don't have to sit there and balance calendars. And when I go over here to Google, see that? And let's just do another one just to show. I'm going to come back over to my Calendly and say, let's look at a different day. Let's look at Friday, for example. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 times on a Friday that somebody can schedule a meeting with me. Now we're going to go over here, and I'm going to put something on Friday in the afternoon, and I'm going to say that it starts at 3 o'clock, goes until 7, and we're just going to call it Happy Hour Meeting with Partners. And I'm going to put it specifically on my meetings calendar and save it. So now I've got my work calendar here, and this is just a generic calendar. There's the family one, and there's that happy hour meeting. So you remember before I had like 6 or 7 opportunities available? Well, now when I go back and I choose Friday, refresh it. Now there's only 5 available because the happy hour is there. It knows, Calendly knows. This is such an amazing thing. So if you put something on your calendar, it'll be taken away from Calendly. But if somebody puts something on Calendly, it goes to your calendar. So it's a two-way exchange of information. Now we're going to actually book one, just to show you how the loop works. So I'm going to go here on Thursday. I'm going to select 10 o'clock. I'm going to confirm it. First name Bob, last name King, subbob@gmail.com. Again, Gmail. I'm subbob everywhere, so if you put subbob in front of it or after it, it's usually me. The purpose of the meeting is to review my website, and the website is thoughtspray.com. That is my website as well, ThoughtSpray. Make sure I spell that. THOUGHT spray.com. I'm going to schedule this event. Now, when I refresh my calendar, I don't even have to refresh it. Look at this. That meeting that I just scheduled with myself, by the way, but that showed up from Calendly, from my subbob@gmail account. Notice attendee email right there. And that, my friends, is how you can use Calendly to simplify your life. Tell people when they can meet you. I mean, how many times do you have these people say, when can I call you? And all you have to say is, go to my Calendly link. That's for good. And there it is. Or, in my case, my Calendly link is subbob. I have things set up in 20-minute meetings right now. I'm going to add more events later. But it works really useful. Or really well, that is. It's very useful and works well. I'll be talking about this more tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time, an hour and a half from the time this video was created. Shortly after, I'll be uploading this to YouTube. And this has been Tech Tips with SubBob, my first one. And it's time management using the Calendly application. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm SubBob everywhere: Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Periscope, on and on and on. And in fact, if you don't believe me, I'll show you, right? Which is Google SubBob. Watch this. See, SubBob everywhere. That's me. Yep, those are me. Yep. Okay, that's right. It's all me. So come on over, look me up, come talk to me on my blab, ask questions. I'm happy to help, and I'm here to help people become more productive and get more done in the same amount or less time. Because why should you do yourself what the computer can do for you? Thank you so much, and appreciate you watching, and let me know if you have any questions.